So I don't know if you've ever, sorry, just uh, what's the word I'm looking for? Disregard my voice for a second in this episode. It does sound a little crazy. I apologize for that. But to anybody out there who is a user of nicotine products or any addictive substances, they all know how hard it is to kick an addiction, right? So I'm wondering, have you
Hmm.
ever dealt with that, Orion?
Well, you see, I'm not exactly much for addictive vices because that requires a little something called commitment. Now,
If
if you're
committed.
anything like me, you might have some commitment issues where, dude, with an addiction, you got to wake up each morning, then you have to go get the thing that you're addicted to. Ain't nobody got time for that. Then you have to have money to go get the thing that you're addicted to.
Okay, I mean,
Ain't nobody got money for that. Like,
people get very efficient. Okay.
well, you know what? There's not a better earner of money in America than someone with no money for their vices. That
This is so
trust
true.
and believe they will find a way. And
So true.
I'd like, I think I've seen some characters in some campaigns that I've been in kind of go through that kind of situation where they have a little bit of an addiction, although
Mhm.
most of those addictive circumstances are due to me adding magical addictive substances to my
Yeah.
games.
I mean, and that's something that, as a DM, you can kind of have a perspective on, having a
Mm.
character going through a type of a withdrawal, knowing what those symptoms are like. And me personally, to be kind of dealing with those symptoms, and to anyone else who knows, it's kind of like it's hard to deal with. But like,
Mm.
use me as your motivator. You can make it through. Know that like you're doing it for a good purpose. Like, gotta put yourself first and care about your health.
Well, you know what, Sam? I lied. I do have an addiction.
Oh yeah.
But it's a physical addiction to a medication that I take to control my diabetes.
Uh-huh.
So the withdrawal symptoms involve a whole lot of nausea and extensive trips to the bathroom beyond the you know something that might qualify me to join the IBS
Well,
Association of America.
I don't know if we're talking about like medical, situations here.
I don't know, but like if we talk D&D though, if we're
Yeah.
going with addictive substances, I've had withdrawal for players be random magical effect of said addictive substance without the hit that comes with it. So it's like whenever you have a withdrawal symptoms, like say we're going with Auntie Bobble's magic candies, you remember those?
Hold on. Before we get too heavy into it, we should start the show.
Oh, all right. And welcome to Dungeons and Talk Shows, the talk show that brings you monsters, news, and homebrews, and occasionally a special guest. But 2 weeks in a row, we got no one to show. Uh, Maybe he comes in later, maybe he doesn't. But I'm looking really forward to if he does, because life's complicated. I'm not about to get too upset about it, but I want to get him in here because man's got stories to tell, stories for days.
I am also here. Hello. Sam and Orion have arrived.
Late for the
Welcome.
show, but ready to go. I think we waited like what, 8 minutes?
I don't know. You're not streaming for this episode, right?
Oh, I am.
Oh, you are? Okay, I thought you said you weren't going to stream today. Oh, that's cool. Check out our stream to anyone who wants to hang out with us live while we record.
Uh,
We do
okay.
check it on our YouTube and stuff like that, so come hang out with us.
Yeah. We really appreciate the comments, especially like we have been getting a few comments here and there lately. So that's always encouraging. I want to see if we can get some questions going because
Oh, that'd be
getting
great.
some viewer questions, like maybe if we could get someone that has like a
Oh, excuse me.
like maybe someone that needs like some DM advice, like they have that guy at their table, how to deal with that guy, but everything is on a case-to-case basis when it comes to that guys. So what if that guy isn't really that bad that you have to listen to all the Redditors that tell you to torch this person and kill it with fire?
Look, I've been watching a lot of those Crit Crab videos where he like reads the Reddit stories or whatever.
Fucking love Crit Crab.
I never really, explored that side of YouTube, I guess, for, those D&D stories until you were like, hey, we should start doing, narrations for stories. So I was like, yeah, let me check them out. Now that these are pretty funny, but I'm just like, oh my God, I could give such good advice for these situations.
I could give some great advice and bad advice. I think it might be
people
funnier
deal with these. Holy.
You ever see the one with like the psychotic girlfriend that tries to take over D&D? Dude, there's so many other YouTubers that do real well with that, like Den of the Drake. He's all right.
I used to listen to a lot of those, just like the general like Reddit narration stories, especially like the "Am I an asshole" ones. Oh my God, those get me every time.
The D&D "Am I the asshole" ones, those are all right too. Like
they all go crazy.
You got RPG horror stories, then the less popular D&D horror stories, then you're like a RPG "Am I the asshole?" Like there's a whole network of that stuff. So if anybody wants to see us get into that, like maybe, but I think that territory, the real estate there's been pretty well taken up. So
we have our email posted in like our description and stuff, right?
I believe that we have that in our link tree.
Oh yeah, cool. Yeah, and even if you don't want to comment it or something like that, you can definitely send it to our email. We do check those fairly frequently, I think.
Yeah, we do. I mean, if you're not checking it, I'm checking it, and I've used it to kind of manage our Patreon and the other things. So that, the things that you do.
Oh man, this has been a pretty exciting week for like shows and stuff.
Okay, wait. Anything that's going to inspire me for the upcoming campaign, Sam? What should I be looking out for?
Okay, so I don't know if you watched The Boys, right? So first of all, this is a show that I just finished like yesterday. Right. The Gen 5 show. It's supposed to be like a spin-off of The Boys. You know what The Boys is? It's like a superhero show.
Oh, yeah. I know The Boys.
Homelander.
The one where everything's like gritty, over the top.
Right.
It's like superheroes, but it's like, them raunchy, realistic
expectations. Yeah, it's like real life superheroes and like a media-driven. Yeah, pretty much, So it's like that, but it's about like this college. And it's just about dealing with like the lower ring where you're not dealing with the pros, you got the people in schools training to become kind of like a My Hero situation, except it's pretty crazy. I don't want to give too much away, but if you guys like the Boys, check that out on Prime Video.
If you got to go to college to learn how to use superpowers, you got a societal issue at hand.
Well, I mean there's a lot of laws to it, and
Dude, if you want to, the concept that you'd have to go through all that legalese, like I imagine in My Hero Academia, like an entire course each day has got to be dedicated to the legal ramifications of what they're doing. And like these are high school students, like holy shit.
Yeah, especially the ones who are in like the combat focus classes, like fighting and stuff, and like that's why having your license is so important.
Yeah, I have a license to cause collateral damage, people. Your taxpayer dollars at work.
That's the whole thing with the meta liberation or whatever. They wanted people to be able to use their powers because they were born with it. For society.
You know what? I'm feeling the inspiration already, Sam. Now, hear me out.
Yeah.
A lot of people already integrate this into their stuff, but like, it seems to me that you go into a city with your party, and there's going to be a lot of heavy magic regulation within a city. Like, hey, no enchantments within city boundaries on people. No, turning, no using illusions to turn copper coins to gold coins. Like there'd be wards for things. Like if it's a higher magic setting, and even in lower magic settings, like magic's probably going to be like if there's any amount of it's probably going to be regulated to a degree. You know what I mean? Because like you just can't have people blowing up things in the street like that. That's dangerous. People die to that shit.
In like My Hero and the Boys, for example, everybody's powers log catalog. They know what you can do. Like they know at least for the most part they know how the abilities are.
Like imagine like you're a wizard, but you have in order to learn like 3rd level evocation spells, you need a license.
Yeah, you gotta go in like every other month and get tested.
Like maybe like it's like a driver's license. Every couple years, you have to go and renew your license, get your ID updated, and then they have to find out what your maximum spell capabilities are.
I don't want to get too political here, but I think wizards should get a psyche vow every
few. It's background checks for wizards.
Yeah. I think now's the time.
And I think secretly most players are far more pro Second Amendment than they realize. The way that they sling magic around in games these days, they're like, "Fuck the citizens, let's go!" Oh, how dare the government try to take away and regulate my magics? This is a part of me, right, and it's just like. And you know what? I feel very much in that spirit because, like, if I had magics, I wouldn't want the government telling me that I can't cast Fireball. What the fuck you mean I can't cast Fireball?
I mean, it's the whole thing of you got the right to bear arms, right? You got the right to your ability.
I got the right to make shit explode from my fingertips.
Yeah. I mean, that's the problem. It's like you don't want to restrict people from like being themselves, so to say. But if you got a dude walking around whose arms are chainsaws, like, what are you gonna do? Like, I don't know.
That's weird. Our Rumble had a failure to connect.
Oh no, we've gotten doxxed.
Why don't you tell us a little bit about the monster of the week while I fix our Rumble?
Well, hold on. Before I get into all that, we can go into some more of this.
I found what it was.
Oh yeah. So also in Prime Video news, there is the Invincible Season 2 trailer that dropped, and that shit looks pretty crisp.
I'm down for that. It looks good. Like, honestly, it's going to be a good animation season in general.
Dude, this is a good anime. This is a good season.
The Rumble is set, sir. We fixed it. You know what? In post, I'll upload a proper edited, just all the shit that people might have missed on the Rumble. I'll upload that after the show. We'll get that underway. You know.
Thank you for joining us, people on Rumble. You didn't miss too much. Just ranting about superhero politics.
Yeah. Well, honestly, that kind of slides into the magic politics of got to regulate the magics.
No, exactly. Yeah, and speaking of, like I said, there's the Invincible Season 2 trailer. That's always going to be fun, right? And then for like anybody who has been a Vizzy Pop fan on YouTube and loves Hell of a Boss, Has Been Hotel is finally green lit and has a release date for Prime Video as well. I'm fucking excited.
You know, I think that could be cool for a tabletop. Could you imagine someone running? Yeah, running a Has Been Hotel, Hell of a Boss campaign.
Oh my god,
dude, that entire setting is good to go with a capital G.
Fun.
Like it's good. I like it. It's
we have
fun.
A party that goes to assassinate people in the man.
I hear people all the time, like if I go to work I talk about D&D, so there's always like that one guy that's like, our party went to hell. No, this time you could be like, our party started in hell.
Oh Ryan. You sweet baby boy.
You could try to escape hell. you could try to carve out your entire section of it as like a mafia situation. That would be something to go with.
Damn. So I found a guy on Reddit who posted 2 years ago in the Hell of a Boss subreddit, looking for a Hell of a Boss D&D campaign. Unfortunately,
Do it up, dude.
doesn't look like it went anywhere. Unfortunately, but he did look interesting.
I would love to see some. If anyone runs a campaign like that, please, we would love to hear it.
Oh, there's a YouTube video how to play Hell of a Boss in D&D.
How
Interesting.
is it by Tulok though? Because
does not look like it is.
Because Tulok's always making character builds.
I do love Tulok. No, it's Drivovich. Wait, who is this? What is it? Jeffrey Venture.
Let's get him on the show.
Perhaps. 185 subscribers seems like a cool guy. Oh, well, so hold on. Yeah. So it's maybe 2 years ago.
Yeah, dude, hit me up with that after the show for sure.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So he does Dungeons and Dragons one-shot adventures based on TV shows, movies. Sorry, this is super off topic for the show.
I mean, yes, no, kinda. Like that's within our purview.
You guys like talk about random stuff, right?
No, we talk about random stuff while we're playing D&D.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of fun. Oh, also, in media news, sorry, I'm kind of stealing your news segment for today.
Please, Sam. The news has been, it's been a dry week. I mean, all we really got was playtest number 8.
Yeah. I mean, it's pretty. I don't really give a shit.
I mean, well, no. Hold on. Playtest number 8 wasn't exactly that big of a drop, as far as like, it wasn't a disappointment. We got Bastions, which being a landlord.
Wait, what?
Something that every other edition of D&D kind of covered pretty readily. Shouldn't your players always have a base of operations?
Oh, okay. I'm interested.
This is something that was kind of covered in Acquisitions Incorporated, so it's kind of like Wizards. What the fuck?
That makes sense.
Y'all you could have done this years ago, but the only semblance of anything like these kind of rules within the official system is a little tiny bit that comes from a third-party source, Penny Arcade, and like, what are you doing, guys? There's a reason that their stocks are dropping. Oh yeah, that does bring me to a little bit of what we got for news. Wrong finger, wrong one.
Excellent. Oh god, it's all gone to shit. We're falling apart, it seems.
Breaking news.
Oh.
I'm sorry. I love that thing.
Oh gosh.
Yes. It's feel the hype. So the breaking news: Wizards of the Coast stock has dropped to $58, and lots of their shareholders are planning to sell even further. Expect the stock price of Wizards of the Coast to fall even further. Now, $58. Yeah. I want it to drop more because I think if we get enough followers and we network with other content creators.
You want to buy out Wizards of the Coast?
Yeah, buy out Wizards of the Coast. We'd be like, hey, Hasbro. Yeah. Start a Patreon. Help us buy Wizards of the Coast for just a couple dollars a month. You too could be a shareholder with Wizards of the Coast. Like, we could buy it up and then take it and then redistribute to all the Patreonies. It's the only redistribution of wealth I support. Well, listen, if it's horribly mismanaged, maybe it's time, like, for the... Now, you know me, Sam. I'm not a communist, but like, if we're gonna... D&D has always been for the nerds, by the nerds, so it's really the only thing that should function that way.
Look, to be honest, we already own, D&D. Like, we make D&D what it is. Like, they may own it, whatever. but it's the creators like us, or like people who make homebrews and stuff like that. People who
Yeah,
make their own campaigns. It's those people that keep D&D alive, and they would have died a long time ago without them. So, like, in a
yeah.
way, Wizards owes it to the players, to the masses, to the community. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
think about it. Like Hasbro only cares about their shareholders, so they're like, we got to increase it by like 5% every year, increase the profits. But no, like if it was run by the people that are involved in it, people are gonna, if they're involved in it, they're gonna invest more into it, make more cool shit. And if we're making more cool shit that's for the nerds, by the nerds, and then keep the profit margins where it's just like, oh yeah, like 1% a year is like the goal for growth, then like, okay, cool, whatever. Then it's not like a major thing. You want things to grow, but it's something that everybody's growing together, so it's not that big a deal.
Okay, but look, let's talk about this. We're really cooking here.
I'm not exactly a business guy, but
yeah, I'm not a financial guy. Maybe somebody in our comments can help us with this.
I'm not a fiduciary.
What do you need to? I always talk about like if I won the lottery, right? I would buy like a company. I know you have to buy shares. You have to buy like at least like 51% to have. Like,
yeah, I believe with Elon, like
right?
he like bought out Twitter by buying most of the shares, and once you own a majority of the shares, you kind of like you're like
you
the
get
big
that like
honcho.
board sway, yeah.
Yeah, and when you have more board sway,
so technically we would only have to own like that 51% if we wanted to make those kind of decisions within like.
And then we could start kicking other board members out and getting more nerds on board.
We could find out how much it would take to do that.
That's what I'm saying.
Let's get the word out on Twitter. What would be the hashtag? Oh, we need a good hashtag, man, to go viral with.
I know, because like this would not just affect. It wouldn't just be D&D. It would also be Magic the Gathering, which has been suffering these past few years. Like they just came out with a fucking Doctor Who set. Like who asked? Yeah, but like their Magic practices are just like they'll reprint the same thing over and over again, and then they'll like you'll be buying the new cool cards at a loss, and it's just like, what the fuck, dude? And then like cards in landfills, it's like. I think that, well, it's difficult. I looked at the stats a couple days ago, and it said with the sources I was looking into that Wizards of the Coast accounts for 70% of the profits of Hasbro. So that right there tells us everything we need to know about this past year and a half. Hasbro, like everything else is dying in Hasbro, and they're panicking. They're trying to keep what little bit of growth that they have going, and it's only through Wizards of the Coast that they have any growth. And Wizards of the Coast have always been, a little struggling-ish. So it's just like, what do you do? What do you do? And I think like if we could buy them out, there's two options: buy with WotC from Hasbro, or through a hostile takeover of of nerdy proportions, or we take Hasbro as the whole, and then all of a sudden, the people of these community, the D&D nerds, would also own Monopoly. We'd have a monopoly on Monopoly. And then we just make. I feel like the cool thing to do would be make everything as open source as possible, because the typical orc thing, So
as of October 14th, 2023, the stock price of Hasbro is 66 per share.
Yeah, it's dropped recently to 58. Yeah, like dropping.
Oh, I think I got distracted while I was saying it. But the Markiplier Iron Lung trailer also came
out. The fuck's Iron Lung?
It's his movie.
Markiplier's making a fucking movie now?
Hell yeah. Look, man, everyone says that Markiplier's making a movie. But the movie trailer came out, and he's been talking about it, or they've been talking about it for a long time.
Okay.
What was it? When he talked about going to the hospital for like drowning in blood or something. That was he did that for his movie. And like now that we
Okay.
saw the trailer, it explains it because it's just the guy like standing up out of a pool of blood. Like
Okay.
that's
Okay.
literally it. I mean, it doesn't. Well, what does that tell me? But like, you know.
I don't know. Damn.
You ready to check that out? If you if you like
It sounds interesting, I guess. Like,
it's a horror movie. I think it is, right? Like the whole
hey,
Iron Lung thing.
you celebrate Spooktober, celebrate that October, Orktober.
Right, Iron Lung is a game.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Ah, well.
It is a horror movie. Oh, nice. Or he's making it.
This is the perfect time for doing horror games.
Yeah, Iron Lung is a 2022 first-person horror game, developed and published by David Szymanski.
Szymanski. I'm totally using that for an NPC now. Szymanski.
Oh no, I remember this. Yeah, it's the one where you're like walking through like submarine, like monsters. That's interesting.
Interesting. Is right. I'm looking at some of the stuff that is covered in the Bastion rules here that they put in the recent playtest. So they got like a point system, and you can accumulate these points and use them to upgrade your Bastion. They're called Bastion points. BP, very original.
Okay, nice.
Let's see. Facility space, like maximum area, like four squares, cramped, roomy 16, vast at 36. Bastion maps, you can have closets, doors, corridors, ramps. People have been asking this since they released the first player handbook. Like, why did they wait so long?
I mean, who knows?
Like, Sims is ungodly popular, and they waited this long to give people a way to build a house.
People have been doing it themselves anyway. Like they don't fucking need
Yeah. Mismanagement. That's what I'm saying. Like, we've been homebrewing this shit and stealing rules from 4th edition and 3rd edition.
Yeah, for real. People look. Everybody has had the mentality of like, oh, they don't have it in the game. We'll just do it ourselves. And like at this point, bro, we do everything for them. What does Hasbro and Wizards really do? Like,
Honestly, it's corporate America on the whole. What have you guys done for me lately?
literally,
Hollywood.
What does that got to do with
What are
me?
you guys even doing nowadays? Like, sure, we got a couple shows that are worth watching, but half the shows that are worth watching are done like out of the US,
Yeah.
And like then we just have to like kind of wade through like excessive amounts of media trash. And we kind of do the same thing in a sense with the gaming market when it comes to D&D stuff too.
True.
Find a lot less trash in the homebrew scene.
Oh yeah. I feel like these days people are very quick to reject things. Like I've been seeing a lot of hate towards like Starfield. I don't want to bring all that drama here, of course not. All right, but look, I love Bethesda. I'm a Bethesda boy at heart. I love Fallout. I love Skyrim. I'm not even gonna get to play Starfield because I don't have PC strength or an Xbox or something. But like, the game looks fine. A lot of people hate it for some reason. I feel like it's just because
I've looked at it and it's just like, yeah, man, that's not for me. Like, if at this point, if you've played one Bethesda game in the past 10 years, you've played them all.
I mean, pretty much, yeah. Skyrim and Fallout are like they're the same kind of game. They're just flavored differently for different settings.
Yeah, and that's all Starfield is. Starfield is it's like Starfinder for Pathfinder. You know what I mean?
And it's funny because it's like exactly what people wanted, but they're still mad about it. And it's like people just like to bitch about stuff. Like I'm sorry,
you can't please anyone in this market, dude. You can't please anybody.
Awful. being like a gaming company, because it's like you spend 10 years literally making this game that you put your heart into, and you're like, oh, the fans have been asking for this for literally 15 years. You dish it out, and they're like, play it for 2 hours. Worst game I've ever seen in my life. I'm like,
Well, they did that kind of shit with Kingdom Hearts 3, dude.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. People.
To be fair, with Kingdom Hearts 3, they took out like half the fun magic that have been that's been a staple of the entire franchise. They're like, oh, hey, you like magnet and gravity? Nope, that shit's gone. We've been working on this for years.
Some games, some companies definitely be fucking it up and missing the ball. But I in the span of like,
dude, Wizards did the same thing. But to be fair, going from like 3rd edition to 4th to 5th, there's going to be a lot of spells that get left to the wayside. Like, dude, I got 2 books on my shelf from 3rd edition. The Libris Mortis and the I think it's Arcane something and Arcanum. Whatever. I forget the name of the book, but there's an entire like big fat chapter in each of those that's dedicated to just spells. Like, one is just strictly necromancy spells, undead all day, every day. It's like, I didn't even know you could have this many undead spells in a fucking game.
Do you think if Wizards of the Coast just like went silent for like a year, anybody would really notice?
We'd notice for the sheer fact that nothing would have been fucked up.
How long do you think it would take people to be like, hey, wait a minute. Where have they been lately?
Wait a minute. Gaming's been pretty good lately.
Yeah, we haven't had any problems. No new playtests.
I don't know. It's one of those things where if you don't have problems, people start making problems.
People love conflict as much as they say they hate it.
Yeah, like things have been pretty quiet lately, so that's why we got the wheelchair debate last week.
Oh God, I forgot about that.
Yeah. And I've seen some things. Like I was actually watching a little bit of Vox Machina yesterday. Yeah, the second season. And the second season, motherfucker pulls out the combat wheelchair. And I'm just like, this is very relevant given this past week. And like, I didn't knock the combat wheelchair, but in all honesty, I was expecting someone else to knock him over. You know? Right. But so, I mean, it's one of those things where I also saw another post, like the wheelchair stuff keeps going. Someone on Twitter was upset that there are DMs out there that aren't accommodating the disabled players. And I'm just like, dude, since when do orcs and kobolds build handicap accessible layers? Kobolds are not known for making their place accessible to normal people.
So wait. They're mad because people aren't being accommodating to disabled players?
Disabled player characters.
I mean,
it's like, what do you mean this stronghold doesn't have wheelchair accessible rails? Like,
you also have to think about, like, this is like a medieval, usually setting. What do you think like the people in this setting did? They would pick your ass up and carry you inside. They're not building a ramp for you.
Dude, as a society, humanity has only recently stopped throwing the disabled and the crippled into an asylum where they get beaten and raped. Like,
oh no, this is true.
Like, we just barely moved past that. Like, my wife used to work with this one person that was in one. She lived long enough to be in one of those facilities. I'm not going to drop any of that names or anything because, the HIPAA Privacy Act and shit. But like, just know that that's exactly the kind of situations that people are still alive have experienced. So the concept that maybe there's not a wheelchair ramp in the castle, maybe the kobolds made this tunnel of death and spikes not accessible to the handicap or the people that are attached to their kneecaps.
I mean, you also have to understand that, like, they're active enemies. Why the fuck would they give a shit about like disability.
And honestly, if someone's my enemy, I'm happy that they have a disability.
They're like, cool, works for us.
It works for me.
I'll kick him out the chair. Like,
Dude,
like,
if my enemy is just an entire battalion of blind archers, I'm feeling pretty good about myself.
I mean, like, you gotta understand, people can't, like, gotta make it make sense. Like,
Honestly, that's just most of D&D in general. Just make it make sense to me. Explain it to me. You gotta sell me on an idea.
Look, you want to have me go into, like, I don't know, what's an example? Like, I mean, I don't know, like, there's no reason you couldn't have, like, I don't know, a wizard or a fighter or something, in like a wheelchair. There's no reason you couldn't if you played it right,
Yeah,
You
I
can't
would love to see something
expect.
like that because you'd get fun shit like the barbarian just launching the fighter like a goddamn Beyblade straight out of hell with a flame tongue sword on one side and like some other magic weapon on the other. Just shove them in the blender. Like, that is some fun shit. But don't expect the world around your characters to be accommodating.
Because look, honestly, if you're not gonna get that shit from this life, you definitely shouldn't expect it from like a game. It's like this game, respectfully, was not made for you, but like in the same respect, it was made for you. You know what I mean? But like, if that's something you want in your games, it's as simple as asking your DM to be like, "Hey."
Yeah, that's more of a session zero question
But it's
than
also
anything
like,
else.
if
Like,
it doesn't fit the setting, then it doesn't fit the setting. You just kind of got to deal with it or leave.
yeah, it really is like that. Like, I enjoy games where I'm challenged as a player because the setting is not built for me. Encounters aren't made with my character in mind.
I
They're
would love
just
to see. No, I don't mean to cut you off, but I would love
no,
to
go ahead.
see how, you know a random player, for example, if I have a new player in my game and they're like, "Hey, my character is disabled. This is what happened to them, and this is how they cope with it. This is how they live their life despite,
Yeah,
or
this is their
with
life,
this
man.
disability." I would love that because I'd be like, I would love to see your creativity of how to, lift this person up from, being more than just somebody with a disability, especially in a world as harsh as D&D usually is. You would have the opposite reaction to being catered to if you were somebody who was disabled. Like, most people who are disabled would probably be like the homeless, the peasants, the slaves who could barely work, shit like that. Or
That's
you'd be
typically
killed
how
straight up by
things go.
majority of tribes.
Like, dude, in real world, like a lot of homeless people are disabled in one way or
Yeah.
another, and it sucks, dude.
And that gives you the great opportunity to be like, you know what? Despite this, flaw that's in a flaw in society and flaw in my character, I can use it as a strength and build them up as something more than this disability.
Yeah, and that's a fun thing to do as a character. Like, have, overcoming something, like, you got the obstacles of the game, but then imposing further obstacles on yourself.
Yeah, like, because you already expect, you're going to fight stuff. You're going to have a lot of trauma situations. Like, you give your character, effectively a handicap, make them blind, deaf or something, That's something
Being
that's like,
lawful can be a handicap in a lot of settings.
yeah, honestly.
Because, like, a lot of people have to learn to compromise on their morals, and a lot of lawful characters won't compromise on their morals. So it's like, okay, well, that turns into a big handicap that they have to overcome, and they have to find workarounds. They have to work harder for every victory. You can't just immediately go to Torture Town if you're a lawful, good paladin that's just like, listen, torture is unacceptable.
So true. Oh, what a good discussion. You guys learned stuff.
I love these kind of discussions. But before we go further into any of that kind of stuff, Sam, what is the monster, the subject of the week in this wonderfully spooky month of October?
Yes. With the spooky month comes spooky entities, right? So I thought, why not go into a realm deep dive for this week's episode?
Oh, the
What
realms again.
better than the far realms themselves, the planes of the eldritch monstrosities and abominations that
I
are
never find
too
enough information on those.
that are too massive and complicated for the human mind to comprehend. So blah 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 blah.
I can't even fathom it.
Can't
It's
fathom it.
unfathomable.
Don't even try.
I I couldn't. My little mortal mind is just can't get in it.
Sorry, my mortal beta mind is unable to process all this, eldritch information. However, I was able to find a dumbed down enough version for my supple monkey brain to parse out for the rest of you.
Yeah, parse it out for put it in terms that a mortal mind could understand. Like, speak to me like I'm 5.
All right. So the Far Realms, right, was a plane of madness situated very, very far from the planes of the standard cosmology. If y'all remember, standard cosmology is, the divine realms, the material plane, the astral, blah, blah, blah. Right? So this maddening realm was feared for its power to twist unfortunate visitors into grotesque monsters, as it was from here that aberrations are believed to be born. According to Melania, a servant of the Abolithic sovereignty, all cosmologies were threatened by the same far realm. So, as far as I understand, the far realm acts kind of like an alternate dimension, almost.
It's just like it's where like the things go that are unknowable, the things that are too ancient, and like before there were aboleths, before there were gods, there were these beings, and you can't, incomprehensible, real Cthulhu type shit.
Real Cthulhu type shit, right? The far realm comprised of an infinite number of layers, as the realms do, Unlike the
How
layers,
does the far realm have layers? Like every realm has goddamn layers. We're at the onion thing all over again.
It's like they overlap each other, but there's also layers, but they're also infinite, but they're also overlapping. And
damn, it makes me think of those clips with Neil deGrasse Tyson talking to Joe Rogan, and he's all like, "Well, some infinities are smaller than other infinities." And like, meanwhile, like your normal comprehension, you just want to, like, on a knee-jerk reaction, backhand Neil deGrasse Tyson for saying something like that. It's just like, the fuck are you talking about, man?
It sounds so stupid, but like, oh man,
it's like, it makes sense, but it's like, come on, dude.
Yeah, it's like, really,
some infinities are bigger than other infinities.
Man. Yeah, but unlike the layers of the many outer planes, these layers were very thin, whatever that means, ranging from an inch to a mile in thickness, each separated by the next by around 10 feet. These layers were also transparent, and travelers could glimpse through about 20 or so, with each appearing increasingly blurred. So I guess it was almost like the planes were like planes of glass, right? Like, you would be standing on it and you would just look down and you'd be, you see like the tower below you. It's weird.
I mean, that is weird on its own, but it's interesting because I have looked into the Far Realm previously for a campaign I was running. You were in that campaign. During the boss fight, the goblin boss that had been doing all this shit and shenanigans, he kept getting resurrected by energy from the Far Realm, and the only way to stop it was to cut off the portal, remember?
Right. Yeah, I was playing that soulbound cleric, or paladin, whatever it was.
Yeah. And we had... there's one party member that had killed him like 3 times. He's like, "Why won't you die?"
Nice. That's so funny because I probably, had I gotten there, I remember because it was super far and half of our party could like fly or something. And I was like, I'll get there eventually. And like, my character,
you're like, "Don't worry, guys, I'm catching up."
I had an Anubis domain, right? So I probably could have done something.
Yeah, my domain is death. Just let me get to you first.
That's
you can outrun death, but for how long?
Until I can reach you for 30 feet of movement speed. Oh, man. But yeah, so the layers were also highly morphic. On the whim of the alien creatures that drifted through them, the layers continually evaporated, divided, spawned, and breathed. Changes in the elemental. What was that? Hello? Oh, all right. Oh no. Oh no, my boy. He's gone. Um, oh,
Sam, can you hear me?
hello, he returns. Hello, hello.
I had a technical difficulty with our recording and everything.
I could see that.
Hopefully, it was still picking you up. You didn't get kicked out of it, did you?
No. Mine seemed fine,
Mm.
which is odd.
Yeah. Well, that's good. That's good.
I'm not sure if the recording is good.
I certainly hope so, because that kind of shit's annoying.
It didn't stop recording the whole time, so I'm not sure.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm sure that must have affected the stream.
Well, I don't know. I went to YouTube and I was checking it, and it looked like the stream was still connected, and I could still hear you on the stream. So I'm not too sure what
I
was going
mean,
on.
you can just continue with what you
All
got
right.
there.
Sorry about that, folks, for whatever that was. Um, sorry. Where did I? Okay, here we go. Sorry,
My
it's
cat
so
came to
sore.
the window.
I'm gonna. Hope you guys don't mind. I try not to be an asshole about it, but I'm gonna take a cough drop. The changes in the elemental and energy traits of the layers continuously occurred, creating the far realm's equivalent of a storm. These changes could be seen from far off, moving from layer to layer like a storm drifting across the natural world. On the far realm, landmarks and entities were multidimensional, existing on multiple layers at once. So yeah, that's kind of how. Oh, okay, yeah, yeah. So imagine the layers as a stack of translucent paper, with a given feature appearing as a single mark on each page. Okay. Taken individually, such marks might have no meaning, but when viewed all together in the stack, they seemingly coalesce into a three-dimensional object. Holy shit! Okay, okay, okay. So basically, they exist in a second dimension, like in the second dimension, but also within the
That's
fourth dimension,
wild.
right?
Because, like,
Because holy shit,
yeah, existing in the second dimension on its own is like, what the fuck?
it's man, yeah, that's crazy. Because it can be perceived obviously as a third dimensional object, but being able to move between the layers of their second dimensional world.
You know what that sounds like to me, Sam? That sounds like shadow people.
That's fuckery. It does
You
sound like shadow people.
Yeah, you ever see one of those?
I have, yeah, as a kid.
Yeah, like that
And
shit's
maybe
wild, dude.
maybe as our Halloween episode. I don't know if we've talked about this stuff already. We can share some ghost stories we have.
Ooh, that does sound fun. Like the Bag Man. The
Yeah.
Bag Man's a
Or you know
classic.
what? Anybody listening out there, any of our listeners and viewers, send us your ghost stories. You know, if you have any strange things that happened to you as a kid, or you have anything you've witnessed and you want to talk about, let us know. We'll read them up. We'll talk about them.
Mm.
Although full of dark nothingness, the far realm was full of bizarre scenes. Translucent layers were penetrated by rivers of milky white fluid, floated freely. Sometimes flowed along the layer's edge for a few feet and then poured through onto the next layer. Strange blue globes rained down from unseen heights, bursting when they struck something and unleashing horse-sized ticks that immediately scuttled away to hunt for blood. Gelatinous worms crawled through the layers, forests of writhing tentacled vegetation were encrusted with orange moss growing above an amoebic sea. At the very limit of sight, drifting huge multi-layer shapes vaguely resembling creatures of the deepest ocean. But the smallest being was the size of a city, and they didn't even notice lesser
Mm.
beings that occupied only a single layer. That's some trippy shit.
Yeah, you
I love
think?
it. I love it. I love it. Dude, this is line. At the limit of sight drifted huge multi-layer shapes, vaguely resembling creatures of the deepest ocean. But the smallest being was the size of a city, and they didn't even notice lesser beings occupied only a single layer. That line goes so hard.
It does.
Oh shit. That's like, because then you wonder, for a person to go to the farm, right? They say you can see through the other layers, but you
Mm.
may not see that many. You may see two or three, and the creatures that live here may see 10.
Yeah,
And
like
being spotted from like a different layer is horrifying.
that's like that line from fucking what is it? Thundercats. Sight beyond sight.
Yeah.
And that's absolutely the case. It looks like our little technical difficulty drove away some of the viewers tonight.
It's okay. It happens to the best of us. Maybe they'll come back. All right. So, gravity and time do not exist in the far realm. The only kind of movement possible in the far realm was passage between the layers, which needed only a thought. The air was as viscous as soup and syrup. It was possible to swim through it, though it was very hard, apparently. Just to swim through the air was hard. That's crazy. So mind flayers, aboleths, beholders, carrion crawlers, coyote, and uvadom are some of the entities known to exist within the far realms.
Mm.
The far realm had many different inhabitants, some of them sentient. Some resembled mammals, while others were insectoid. Some were even as powerful as deities.
Whoa. So deities in their own right.
Yeah, you got gods walking about the far realms. Yeah, that shit's crazy.
Mm, for sure, dude.
I mean, I'll tell you a little bit when we get to it. Some of these things that just kind of exist here, primordials, avatars, aberration, aberration. It's crazy.
Mm.
When meeting beings from the prime material plane, the inner planes, or the outer planes, far realm entities often adopted forms of creatures familiar to the viewer,
Hmm.
like a fucking biblically accurate angel. Be not afraid type shit.
So like you come upon this terrifying eldritch being, and it appears as your psychotic ex-girlfriend.
Shout out to Ashley. I love you. She said she's watching us. I love you out there. Love you guys listening.
Yeah. Yeah, we got some some comments from Harlem Mentality in chat, and she telling us about a shadow person experience of her own. So that's cool.
Yeah.
Like, dude, that
Oh yeah,
I
she loves that shit.
so many people I know have had those specific experiences. It's like
Yeah.
if if most people say that they've had like that same experience, and that the specific person you're talking to isn't really a liar, so it's like it kind of adds up. Like there's something there, dude.
I mean, I personally, I believe in, things like the far realms. For example, there being multiple planes of existence. I mean, why not?
Hmm. I think that's a great way to kind of give your players a paranoia. Like add that to your random encounter table, or just like as like benign stuff. Like you roll. Oh yeah, you see a shadow person, like a silhouette walk across the campsite.
Especially people who are magical in nature, like or
Mm.
have connections to magic, have them peek into the ethereal or the astral at times, without
Mm.
even realizing it. It makes sense that they would.
Yeah, like sensing a presence.
Yeah.
That's something I've always really enjoyed. Like in a lot of fantasies, like someone's like, I sense something, a magical presence nearby. Like
Yeah.
it's not even like a detect magic. It's just like an innate sense that every magical inclined character might have. So, like maybe if you were to rule this, give them a magical passive perception that will determine whether or not they sense something like that. You know?
Well, yeah, no, definitely. I would kind of almost count it in their regular passive perception because it's like as they spend their lives, especially being around magical items, entities, and stuff like that, and they know what it feels like to be around these creatures. It makes sense
Hmm.
that they'd be able to pick it out from like a regular crowd of people.
I would say the passive perception for that, like I would apply like
Mix it with like their arcana or something.
yeah, mix it with their arcana. So it's like whatever your spellcasting ability is, your plus the proficiency, what the calculations that you normally have for your passive perception, but instead of perception, you just whatever that spellcasting ability mod is,
Yeah.
and then
I
that
think
gives
that's
you
pretty
your
cool.
your passive magic sense for
Yeah.
magical people. Like you can sense if somebody is inclined or like if they have power.
Yeah. Or like if an item is like of a high rare, kind of high magical rarity.
Yeah, like there'd have to be a threshold for it. Like
Yeah.
you can use
Let's say if
detect
this
magic to
rare is a
tell for
little rare,
yeah.
you could
Yeah.
probably feel it a little bit.
Yeah, like it's not like detect magic where detect magic lets you know that something's magical and tell you what the school is. Well,
Yeah.
this would just be like a benign, well, a passive magical sense.
All right.
So it's like, okay, well, if you are within threshold, there are objects that will kind of trigger that, and you'll be like, okay, I sense a disturbance in the weave.
Yeah, exactly. And it almost kind of like, and as you attune yourself to the weave, the weave is everything, right? So it's like
Mm,
you're essentially becoming like a Naruto nature sage, right? Like you're harnessing that nature energy
mm.
into you're tuning to the world. Why wouldn't you be able to feel the difference in the ambience of magic? And that's
I
why, like,
like that.
I always try to point that out, like, especially like in my game, especially when you guys use detect magic and stuff. Like, you see and you feel it in the air,
Mm.
the currents of magic shifting around your body. Like you affect the world being a being of magic. Like you feel it around you feel it in the air, you feel it in the dirt beneath
Yeah,
your feet.
like
Magic is everywhere.
maybe like how like in Dragon Ball Z, like you can suss out how powerful an enemy is. Yeah, be like,
Right.
oh, this person's very powerful. The marshals in the group are like, the fuck you mean this person's very powerful? And he's just like, no, they have a very strong aura.
Yeah. It's almost like an empathic, innate ability.
Yeah, like you could like maybe being able to sense if someone can cast higher than you. Maybe not exactly how much higher.
I see this being a feat,
Ooh, that'd be good. Maybe like something that's not just like a simple feat, but like an earnable feat.
Something by like like if you experience like being around people who are significantly stronger than you, you feel the weight of their aura pressing down on you. You've been
Hmm.
successful stronger than you. Imagine
I
you'd be
think
very, very
yeah,
used to feeling that pressure.
I would award a feat like this to someone who gets downed by magic. Like,
Oh
'cause- yeah, because in Shaman King, I don't know if you've seen that anime, but
I've heard about it. I think.
yeah, it's pretty popular. They like just a couple years ago, they just recently finished it up. They redid the entire series, came off hiatus, full completion.
Nice.
And in Shaman King, what they do is if a person comes extremely close to death and or dies and comes back, their mana, their magic ability, it comes back stronger with them. They have a higher capacity. So I would say if like someone downs you through magic, like you come back a little bit stronger. You now have a sense, a magic sense, and to be able to tell like, okay, yeah, you can kind of gauge how powerful a magic using enemy might be, or detect if there's one in the area.
That's always why, like with our warlock in our party, he's mainly necromantic magic using. That's why I'm always like, you feel that presence of necromancy.
Mm.
She has a higher affinity for it because she uses it in her primary use of spells. Like just like with Ezra, you'd be able to feel the difference in somebody's psionic ability.
Oh, hello.
What was that? No, Discord notification.
Hey, there he is.
An hour late.
Oh, you might be an hour late, but you're always welcome.
Yeah, it's all good. I
you.
was about maybe a halfway through this realm discussion.
If you want to join the Discord call that we have set up, we can get your camera on the stream feed there.
Oh, there's a Discord call for this too.
Yeah, yeah, that covers our visual. Like we usually mute the Discord mic, and then like the Libsyn serves as a proper backup.
Okay, I gotcha. That.
What is that?
For the Mobile Legends.
Oh, I didn't know that he had done that.
Let me.
That's cool. That's cool.
I feel like I'm so far out of the loop at the current moment.
Apparently, I am as well. Why don't you tell us a little bit about that, Sam? Like, I didn't know, like I knew that he was working on some MOBA Legends stuff, like trying to get a good team together. But like, a lot of our people in the server were just kind of being a little wishy-washy about it. There we go. Okay. And there.
I was
shout out anybody that knows what League is. You should quit.
I've been IP banned from League of Legends for 2 years now.
Congratulations.
Thank you. And I regret it because I was a challenger and I'm really sad about that. Yeah. Yeah, I was the only Poppy challenger and everybody kept complaining that I played Poppy.
I feel that. Like, whenever there's a hard meta in any game, I feel the intrinsic urge to go against that meta. Like, fuck y'all doing what's popular. Bunch of fucking conformists. I'm going to do my own thing.
Brother said, "Yeah, I'm a contrarian for sure."
Like, back when I was a kid, I was like, you know what? Fuck Columbus. Columbus Days is a fucking sham. And now that everybody's on that train, as an adult, I'm like,
yeah, I love Columbus. I want to colonize an entire planet. That's
exactly. I'm like, you know what? The reason we celebrate Columbus Day is because you can only ever be where you are at this place and point in time in reality, and Columbus is the catalyst that brought us to being exactly where we are at this point. He came to America, so now I'm in America, and you know, I got all these first world problems like stubbing my toe. He turned on his camera and then it swapped our portraits around. So, Ceros, why don't you introduce yourself to our audience, even though you're in the Orion slot now?
You'll love to see
the new
it.
host, I guess.
Hi, I'm Orion. I'm Cerosthegod, or just Ceros if you don't want to say my full name. I do TikTok slightly.
That's how I discovered Ceros. Like, I was checking out some stuff and I stumbled upon a little TikTok where he was talking about getting some rival gang members to sit down at the table and play D&D together.
Yeah, I got some. I'm just gonna say it flat out. I got some Bloods and Crips to play D&D.
Hell yeah,
that's where it's at, my friend.
It absolutely was. It was vicious, depraved, psychotic, horrifying. It was a lot of what's a good word I can use? Niggatry. That's a good word.
I mean, it works.
That's the only
word of the night, people.
Word of the night, because it was very scary. It was scary during the entire campaign because all I could think about was, why are they? Because you would think they would wear their colors. They didn't wear their colors. They wore way wackier things in their colors. They wore like malicious stuff. Like they wore like bulletproof vests and do-rags and white beaters. Like they expected to die every time they came to my
holy
D&D.
shit. They was like,
dude,
my last
I kind of respect that a little bit. Like when I lived in North Carolina, the dudes at my school, they were so desperate for gang colors. There was this motherfucker that sat next to me in class all the time, whereas like a beige, not beige, like a tan was like their thing, like khaki tan. And it's just like, okay, yeah, your gang color is khaki. A way to go, dude.
You went to school with a bunch of failures. It's
all
crazy.
The colors are taken, man. Come on.
I don't think all the colors are taken. I haven't seen a single orange gang unless Mexicans are taking that. I'm not really sure.
Well, all the orange gang members live out in the middle of nowhere and go hunting.
You don't want to fuck with those black-clad Alaskans. They'll fuck you up.
Oh, shit. Yeah. God damn.
Alaska don't fuck around because there's so many places to hide a body.
Mm-hmm. What's the population of Alaska? Like 6? What's the...
It's so low they pay you to live there.
How many people live in Alaska? I'm so curious. But it was horrifying. I was Anchorage.
That sounds like Alaska to me. I think
it sounds like Alaska.
It sounds like an Alaska town.
Oh, okay, I understand why so many people live there. The population of Alaska is only 732,000, which is horrifyingly low as compared to. Why are they showing me Canadian statistics? California has more people than Canada. It's a massive
place, but like, yeah, it's like mostly wilderness. Like you got to take a plane to get places up there. I've known a lot of people over the years that have lived in Alaska, Actually, one of the few Orions that I have met lives in Alaska.
Motherfucker, that's so specific. You can name your child anything. This is Moose Kebab. You sure? Yeah, that's his name.
You could literally go anywhere.
Sounds Russian to me.
Sounds Russian to me.
They're close enough to Russia. Non-stop.
I get they do have Aurora Borealis though. There's Aurora Borealis.
That shit is clean. Look.
That is.
Can't take that away from the lore. But a question I get frequently is like, "Oh my goodness, how did you speak to them? Weren't you just a regular guy?" No, I was a Crip. I sold a copious amount of drugs to these guys. That was just the entire thing. I needed to make profit. I lived in a blood neighborhood, and I was a Crip, so I had to sell drugs. So that was kind of like the lore there.
Well, you see, you don't. That's the universal rule, though. You don't fuck with the drug dealer because he got the supply.
That's true. You don't fuck with the drug dealer, and you don't fuck the ops moms unless you're
Facts.
Yep.
Yeah, that's pretty universal. 3 things you don't fuck with: the dude's mom, the drug dealer, IRS. In that order.
In that order. And you can see, you can fuck the grandma, but you can't fuck the mom. That's the rule. That's the craziest thing I've heard all week. That's crazy. See, I just did a hierarchy It was single moms at the bottom. Then above that, it's mental illness chicks, and then above that, it's parental issue chicks.
Damn.
And then autistic chicks are above that, and then BPD at the very top. Top of the pyramid, because any girl that's on the spectrum got grip. I know that for a fact. That's just a factual statement.
You know what? All I gotta say to that is simply, it really just depends on what their autistic focus is.
I think if they like dinosaurs, it's nuts. If it's you about to get some pachycephala coochie, it's nuts.
The crystals.
That's actually a lower bracket. That actually just
classic.
comes back down to daddy issues. If you collect stones, that means you need a hard figure in your life. That actually loops back down just to daddy issues. I got this whole math.
I should figure it out.
Oh damn! Like I used to have like a whole bunch of rocks as a kid. I can talk to those girls. I'll be like, "Hey, yo, is that a tiger's eye? Oh, look at that very nice piece of quartz you got there." And she's like, "Oh, you know what quartz is? Yeah."
Orion has such good pussy. It's crazy.
That's for pussy boys. What this moon mean, baby?
Orion bro just pulls up like, I have obsidian. They look at him and be like, "Wow, his pussy must be amazing. This is crazy."
Holy shit.
So diabolic.
Listen, I'm married, but my best piece of dating advice is when you go up to a girl, you just find out what her her sign is, and be like, "Oh, holy shit, I am insert sign here," and they're like, "That's such a Gemini thing to say."
That's so chaotic. The way you just said manipulate women to get them is crazy. That's crazy. You just said, "Yeah, I'm a narcissist. Let me explain how I got my wife." It's nuts because I think me and Orion are the two married, and then Starboy, you're not married, are you, Starboy? I'm married, so you're out. You're out. It's you're the minority here, just like in real life. Look at that, coward.
I just like to give bad advice to people because like it's very humoring to me.
well, technically, while Ryan is outnumbered in the race department, in the marriage department, you're outnumbered, Starboy, because me and Ryan are both married men, and we're both circumcised. So, like, if you're ever,
how do you know?
Write in the comments now if you're circumcised.
Like, I'm not Jewish, but do I look Jewish? Am I Jew presenting?
I heard a horrifyingly bad Jewish joke from my friend like 3 weeks ago. He was like, "I was at my Jewish gun dealer last week." I was like, "Yeah." He said, "How much does hollow cost?" I'm like, "What?" Like, I was like, "What?" Like just a horrible Jewish joke. I was like, "Why'd you say that?" He was just like, "Don't worry, I'm Jewish." Really? I'm a little bit Jew. I was like, "What does that mean? Jewish? Like a little?" I was like, "Okay, all right." Okay.
Damn. We went from D&D to Jew jokes, and I'm not disappointed.
We've been looped.
I'm telling you, dude. Like, if I was in a room with a bunch of dudes like that trying to get a whole game to go off well, dude, I'd be scared. I'm not gonna lie.
I would like to point out, you guys play D&D vastly different than I play D&D. You guys play in D&D like people. I don't. Like, because let's do a quick little example of how it operates, right? So I could not get these motherfuckers to play regular D&D. That was not happening. And if you know niggas, it's not happening. So what I had to do was I had to kind of guide them and then unguide them. So for instance, let's say you start off in the middle of a Denny's parking lot and there's nobody out. It's 2 a.m. in the morning. The wind is very subtle. You look in front of you, you see a bunny that's glowing. It has a broccoli tail. Do you A, approach the bunny, B, walk the other direction, C, do whatever you want? The black guys that I was with would be like, "Oh, I want to eat the bunny." I was like, "Okay, you gotta roll an 11 if you want to eat the bunny." Bet. They roll a 13. I say you desecrate the bunny. You rip its innards out. You devour it. But in doing so, you gain the abilities of the bunny. You now are extremely horny. And they're just like, "I love being horny." And that's how. And I would have them write down character is madly horny. And I would have that was like the entire campaign. It wasn't like during like attack phases, you'd be like, "Oh, you gotta roll a die 6, a D6, and then you could fuck that." We had one die, and if you rolled this D20, and if you got the number that I said that I randomly chose, the action will be good or bad. Like I wanna tear his arms off. Okay, all right, you gotta roll a 13. Okay, rolls a 15. Yeah. And I just described something vicious and like, yeah, and then they're just excited. There was no attack stats, none of that shit. It was just vicious niggatry. That's all it was.
That sounds like how I loosely played D&D in high school. Like you get a bunch of teenagers in a massive group. It's like, that's the only way to do it.
It's so funny.
It's a lot of people always ask me, it was like, give me the sheet to your D&D game. Give me the sheet to one. It was 10 years ago. I don't even know where these niggas are. I don't know. They're like, do you still hang out with them? I don't hang out with anybody from 2 years ago. I don't even see my mom anymore. What are you talking about? Asking deep questions.
Impressive is that you got them like in the same room together.
That was the easy part. The hard part was making the grilled cheeses every session. I had to make grilled cheese every session. You know how hard it is to get $20 as a 16-year-old in like 2013?
Damn.
Yes, actually.
That's difficult. YouTube just came out. I didn't know anything. Like,
I might as well work a week.
I couldn't even work. I was too busy. I made money, but the money was used to get more money. You know, like Mr. Beast.
Exactly,
like it was just like I have nothing essentially. I give away millions, but have nothing.
I feel that.
We've gone off the rails pretty deep.
I don't know. Like, if anyone in the comments could leave their tips to how they prepare grilled cheese for their D&D players, let us know. Are you a mayo
Look,
or
bro,
like a butter guy?
I was always a butter guy. You
butter, and you said mayo?
Yeah, mayo, dude.
Somebody told me to try.
It was me. I told you.
It might have been you, yeah. And I was like, "You're crazy. That sounds like madness. Why would I want mayo to be fried up on my bread?"
So Starbird, I can immediately tell that you're either really into one of three things. You're either reclused and into Bleach, outgoing and into Naruto, really fuck with Dragon Ball Z, or you really want to date an Asian chick. Am I on the mark on any of those, or am I off the?
Like a weird mix.
You said it's a weird mix.
You got like a little bit of each in there.
A little bit of each is crazy. Motherfucker said, "Yeah, I had an OC with my own Bankai." Yeah, you guys can say that.
I wasn't a Bleach boy, but I'm a little bit recluse. Yeah, I like Naruto.
That makes sense. I can pick that up. I can tell you really like when Killer Bee entered.
I did.
I can tell.
Really into Killer Bee.
I feel that on an emotional level. I know where you're at. Is that the scar tattoo around your? Is that scar or what is that? Or is that Sukuna? Which one is that?
Where? I don't have any like anime tattoos.
What? What kind? You look like you got Sukuna's markings on your arm. What is
these
that?
Ones?
Yeah.
Oh, these are just like paintbrushed bands.
I
didn't like. Yeah, so how people have like the armbands. I didn't want like solid bands. I wanted them to kind of be imperfect and broken lines, and
So
stuff
you've
like
seen
that.
Black Panther twice, is what I just heard.
I have not.
You've never seen Black Panther?
I've seen Black Panther, not twice though.
Okay. You date white women.
I mean, look, this time.
This guy's good. He's good.
This time, you would bring a psychic on the show.
A psychic to the show is crazy.
What is this? The call Sam out?
I say as my wife is right behind me.
I know, right?
My wife is right here just listening.
I tell you, Sam, do I know how to pick a good guest or what?
Oh my God.
He's got you read like a book.
It's true.
Yeah.
I'm just shooting and spitballing in the dark. I can tell that. Do you watch Boruto out of necessity or just like out of spite?
Not at all.
Not at all.
Not
You're
at all.
stronger than the average bear, so you like so you don't like fat white women, is what I'm guessing.
After the war, bro, I was like, after Naruto ended, I was like, it's done. Like Boruto does not exist.
So just by that alone, I can tell you have commitment to your soul. So that means you like alt white women, like colored hair. You're probably going for those brands. He's like, damn it, he's good. He knows everything about my white taste. He's like, damn it.
Look,
He's good.
Hold on.
I believe your main excuse is I can't find a black girl that's in the anime, and then when you go to a convention, you find one, and you're just like, I already got the white girl, so.
Look, I wouldn't be opposed if it didn't try to
He's about to make an excuse. Go ahead.
I don't know why, but the video that came to mind that reminded me of this situation was like the lady with the oysters. I don't know if you've seen, but that shit killed me.
Lady with the oysters. What are you on about, man? Blood, what are you talking about? Man with the oysters.
There's a video on Facebook that I saw the other day, and it was like this lady on a date, and like she was like, I ordered 48 oysters. Some potatoes and some drinks, and then looked at this man and was like, "What you gonna eat?" And I was like, "Yo, that's crazy."
So Orion, I know you're married.
Yes.
Well, if you could do it all again, what is your race preference?
Oh, we can't go into that.
No. I don't mean in real life. I mean, you can choose any race ever. Period. Ooh. I don't even care what it is. It could be a harpy. It doesn't matter.
Harpy.
You know what? I'm kind of leaning tiefling.
Tiefling? This motherfucker said tiefling? I'm sorry.
Look, he's took it. Hold on, wait. Explain it.
He said, I need me a bitch that speak undercommon for real.
He said, hold on. Give me a demon straight up. Like,
so if my bitch don't speak abyssal, she can get off my dick.
You don't got fire resistance.
She don't. Hey, this girl. If I ain't got to use potion of resist fire on that coochie, I don't want that elemental for real.
Well, I have some reasons. Some good, some bad.
I want to hear the bad reasons first.
Okay, so. Typically, in most fantasy settings, tieflings are kind of like mistreated. They're ostracized a little bit.
Motherfucker said I love minorities. All right, go nuts.
Give me a broken one.
Yeah, well, it's just like, okay, for one, the competition to get with your tiefling girl is a whole lot lower. The dating pool is out. It's like, move aside, guys.
Why are you lowering your self-esteem immediately? Why are you putting? You're just like, I know I'm not getting no orcs. I'm not gonna be able to fuck a single elf. Just give me a tiefling. People hate tieflings.
First off, elves are bitchy as fuck.
They 200 years old and that's still a lolly in their community.
Dude, I know one thing, and is if a girl has age on you, is just like, that's more experience to kind of manipulate you. And it's like, okay, I'm not going to put myself in a situation where I am that disadvantaged. Like, that's 200 years of knowing how to get someone else to do what you want to do. Fuck that shit. Nah.
He knows too much.
They be gaslighting me all fucking day. A dwarf? Okay, well, I'm not really into bearded women. I mean, cool.
Why do all dwarf women have to be bearded? Is that the logic?
Yeah, dwarf women have beards.
I know. Okay, in some fantasy settings, yes, but like you don't.
I guess I can shave it.
That doesn't have to be the lore. Like that doesn't have to be the lore. And plus, if you think about it, statistically, homosexual men give better head than regular like women. So
yeah, but this is still a woman.
Wait a minute. What statistics are these?
I did a case study.
A case study.
just based on pure statistics.
We do our research.
I'll trust your case study.
We do our research.
I surveyed 100 men.
I taste tested 100 men.
Steve Harvey asked me, and I went and found the answer. Look,
if we go through some of these fantasy races, like, okay, you got to toss the gnomes and the halflings out, because, like, first off, if people see you with a gnome or a halfling, they're gonna assume the worst. Like that's about the size of a child.
If you're in a fantasy setting, I don't even think they care. They're probably just like us, probably an immortal vampire or something. Like, if you're
I didn't
in
know
that
this
fantasy
was
setting,
interspecies reviewers. All right,
yeah.
You know what? I like the concept of, like, they're easy to pick up. So like, there's some workable stuff there, but like, I don't want to dedicate my entire relationship to having to reach for the top shelf all the time.
Okay, I got you. I could tell Starboy would, if he had a fantasy race, it'd be Holly Berry but white. But it's
honestly, Holly
she's
Berry
like halfway there.
He said Holly Berry didn't get you. That's
celebrities themselves, honestly, really don't do me.
Now, as you can see, Orion, I pointed out a lighter skinned black woman to see what he would say, just to gauge his reaction. I bet if I pointed out somebody that is like foot faced, that's a white celebrity, he'd be like, he'd be like, think about it for a second. He'd be confused.
I don't even like. Oh, you know who I do fuck with? Mila Kunis.
What I say? This motherfucker chose Meg Griffin. Look at this.
Why do you think of Meg and not Mila Kunis?
I mean, yeah, but you what did I see this, Orion? I'm trying to show you something, Orion. I'm trying to show you something. This motherfucker, I said a beautiful black woman, and he chose a foot-faced white girl. He chose another look at him. He would rather.
Holly Berry is also like triple my age, bro. Like,
so, Mila Kunis is like 38. What are you? How are you?
I mean, that's only years old to me.
Well, I did just warn him about how that age gap, like, she knows how to play the game by that point.
No, you just gotta be. Listen, the advantage that we had. This is gonna sound fucked up, but hear me out. The advantage that we have over most people is that we're good with our vernacular. We're good at talking. So because of that, we can out manipulate the manipulator. I could convince Jeffrey Dahmer to make me a grilled cheese. I'm just saying.
Why do we have to do all that?
I mean, Jeffrey Dahmer probably would make you a grilled cheese if it got you in the door.
There might be some people in there though, but like,
oh, man.
No, don't worry, those people are under the floorboards.
I promise you, he didn't use mayo.
Edgar Allan Poe.
To fry that bread. All right, like.
Listen, the thing about mayo to make your grilled cheese is like you got that oil and egg, so you kind of like it's almost like a French toast. You can get a nice crisp on it.
French toast with cheese wouldn't be amazing. That doesn't sound appealing. No. It was the way your phrasation of this is horrifying. That's like I get some hot Cheetos and dip it in Hershey's. Now after that, you put some cream cheese on it. Like,
I probably use mayo for like doing French toast. I probably wouldn't, because like
mayo for French toast.
You want that? I mean, it's the same kind of, you frying bread, right?
This motherfucker. I'm gonna tell you this right now. Don't.
I guess the reasoning I use is
I wouldn't.
It's like when people make mayonnaise cake.
Mayonnaise cake. Okay. Have you considered to never say that sentence again? I don't know if you've ever considered mayonnaise cake. What the hell is that?
Look, man.
Okay, mayonnaise cake is like, oh, you look in the fridge. I ran out of eggs, and you look in the cupboard like, fuck, I'm out of oil. Mayonnaise is made of egg and oil. I'll just put a big old glob of mayonnaise in my cake, and it turns out just fine.
Oh, I mean, in that case, I guess it's not that crazy.
Oh, okay, like as a substitute for egg. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, it's not that crazy, I guess.
As a substitute for egg.
People do that all the time, yeah.
Yeah, those people are cowards, because baking is a science. They need to stop fucking around with ingredients. I'm just saying that right now. Baking is a science. Babe, isn't baking a science? Baking? Yeah, baking. Yeah, baking is a science. She agrees. Baking is a science, dude. Like, that's a whole thing.
This process is scientifically proven.
Yeah.
This has been focus tested.
It's kind of like, did you know you can technically make an orc come from words? Yeah, power. That's a real thing. You could fushro da inside of an open orc canal, and that would just subjugate orc, and the power word subjugate orc. That's how it works.
Going back to my reasoning on orcs, though, I think that's a lot more woman than I can handle.
You wouldn't take an orc one? You want like muscular women? Is that not your thing?
Oh, it's not that I'm not into it. I just feel like there's muscular women, and then like orcs get a whole lot more mileage per muscle. So like that's a whole other game.
Mileage. I like my women with a high body count. If my girl doesn't have at least 10 under her belt, she can't contend for the WWE championship. Like that's how I feel. You know what I'm saying? I need a raid boss of Coochie. That's what I need. That's just me.
You got me thinking like that one scene from Futurama where he's like, this guy's like gold medal in limbo and sex.
Oh yeah, Barbados Slim.
Yeah, that dude.
You know what's up. What y'all tell you, Starboy? Like 6'3"?
No, not even close.
What you
He's
said?
Wolverine height, but not like the Hugh Jackman Wolverine.
Well, hold on. We're getting
Okay.
All right. All right. Well, for the Descriptify, I'm keeping the word small this week with Vorpal, because like we've heard this word all the time. Like when people talk fantasy shit, like Vorpal sword. What the fuck does Vorpal mean? Like, do you know, Sam? I didn't know until today.
No.
Okay, so maybe Sam's smarter than me.
No, that's not what Vorpal means.
What does it mean?
Vorpal is like extremely deadly, like fatal. Like when you like the blade, the blade of vorpality, like that's an actual weapon. It is just like disastrous, ruinous, like deadly. Like it's actually just chaotically deadly. Like you see it with most kick. Why is it deadly? Because it's gonna sound stupid. Vorpalic. It's dumb. I know it's. You can use it. You can use it in like a verbiage sense.
You can't use the word to define the word.
You can't. You can use the word to define the word. That's like Latin roots. Like because it comes from It's. Oh my god! What did my brother say? It's a nonsense word. Vorpal is a nonsense word. It's from like some 1870s poem called like
the Jabberwocky one.
Yeah,
that's the one.
And this is like such eldritch knowledge that I have. It's like somebody Carroll. I forgot who made
Lewis.
it.
Lewis Carroll.
Somebody Carroll. It's like a whole thing where like Vorpal was like, oh, and then it just became in the common zeitgeist of words. Like it just became that because it means destructive.
Yeah, like I'm looking at the definition now, like bringing ruin, disastrous.
Yeah, it means ruinous, disaster.
Fateful, capable of causing death, a fatal accident. Like, it just kind of gives more credence to like when you get a Vorpal sword. Like, holy shit, this is like the bringer of destruction right here. And
you're asking a crazy question. Are you asking what makes the word Vorpal? Is that what you're asking? I believe it may be like what affinity is attributed to it. Maybe the sharpness of it makes it crazy sharp. Maybe that could factor in with that.
Okay.
That's like an astral blade. Like it comes from
it's
otherworldly.
Like
because that's like ruinous. If it alters dimensions, it can be ruinous. It's capable of causing immediate death.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, in that capacity. So that
I like that, or the thought to like circling back to maybe like a Naruto thing, like just like cut at a molecular level, you know. I like that.
Mm-hmm. The flashpoint blade.
Being able to cut like atoms and shit. Oh yeah.
I can only cut people named Adam. What? Adam's shaking in his boots. Damn.
Cursed weapon of the week, guys. The sword of Adam. It can only cut dudes named Adam. Like wish you got the sword named the sword of John. There's a whole lot more Johns out there.
I have the sword of Billy. I can only kill Daniels. What? What? That doesn't make any sense. I don't make the rules.
I encourage DMs everywhere to use this. It's hilarious, and I love it.
This is a good transition for the
Homebrew. What in capacity of homebrew?
Well, moving into our homebrew section where we show off some of the homebrews we find that community people make, and you know what? I'm just gonna hit the stinger.
Generic realm, lots of fun, excellent.
All right. So it's always fun in the generic realms, and this week I present to you guys the Pact of the Coin as a warlock subclass by Dichotomy Games. They've made some good stuff. I think we've had one of their homebrews on the show before. Let me just let me pull that up real quick because I should have had that prepared. Yeah, look at me, ever so prepared. Okay, the Pact of the Coin. I'll read a little bit of this off here. So, your patron grants you a heavy gold token with a unique emblem embossed on. This text is tiny. What the fuck, dude?
Look closely. Yeah. Use the eye of Sherlock Holmes.
Yes. Open image in new tab. That's what I will do.
He's good. He knows everything about computers.
Yeah, see, there we go. When you choose this pact, choose 2 Eldritch Invocations. Yeah. Okay, we know how classes work, people. You don't have to re-explain the fucking wheel. Okay, while your pact coin remains on your person, you gain benefits of those invocations, and they don't count against your normal number of invocations. Okay, so you're getting...
So is this like you worship the money?
Basically, your patron gives you a coin, and this coin gives you extra invocations, and this subclass does come with more invocations. But let's look at some of their invocations that come with it. Okay, heads or tails. The first time you make an attack roll on your turn, you can forego your D20 roll to instead roll a D2, a coin. You can flip a coin.
A D2, a 2-sided die.
Oh my god!
I can 3D print one of those, maybe. If you roll a 1, your D20 roll is as a 5 for all attacks you make for the turn. If you roll a 2, it's treated as a 15 for all attacks you make this turn.
That's pretty good balancing, actually. A gambling addict would love that.
Exactly, and that's kind of like the kind of person that this is geared towards. Then and then the next one y'all might like, hidden inscription. The coin holds not only it holds magic not only for invocations but also aids you in containing excess magic from other sources. While your pact coin is on your person, the maximum number of magic items you can attune to increases by 1.
I know usually most campaigns will have like 3 attune items per person.
I thought it was like 4 or something, but like
I think it depends on like your wisdom or something like that.
Maybe. And then the next one we got here for the invocations is in for a penny. And basically, when you use your action to cast Eldritch Blast, you can forego the number of beams you would normally create and instead create a number of beams equal to the number of Eldritch invocations you know. Once you've used this, you have to complete a long rest before you can use it again. Dude, that has potential because like you're getting 2 additional invocations on top of your normal invocations. So that can be a lot more than your normal number of blasts.
You got like a magic missile, but like Eldritch Blast.
So anyway, I started blasting.
Anyway,
there's a couple more here. Small ones. Make or break. When you're forced to make a saving throw, you can forego your D20 and instead roll a D2.
Mm-hmm.
If you get a 1, it's going to be treated as a 5. If you get a 2, it's treated as a 15. Then we got...
I like it.
Yeah. Yeah, make or break, all or nothing. And then we got Touch of Gold. You have advantage on all charisma checks made to haggle or determine a fair price when buying or selling goods. Okay. And then capping off, we got the level 17 one. And as an action, you can learn to read, Orion. You can toss your coin into a well, fountain, or other small body of water. To cast Wish without expending a spell slot. After you do, your packed coin vanishes, and you cannot perform the ceremony to restore it until after you complete a long rest. So you give up the ability to use your shit until your next long rest, like all of your stuff. This is an all or nothing thing.
Oh yeah,
Worth.
Honestly,
Worth.
I like it. I misread it initially. I thought, oh, Pact of the Coin. That must be a subclass. No, this is just an alternative to the normal packs that warlocks get.
That reminds me of you're playing on Wizard of Legend. It's an indie game, and there's these things you get called chaotic relics, and every chaotic relic has a crazy downside. Like you can't attack, but you get double magic. But it's like really crazy things like that. I like gamble mechanics like that, because this feels horrifically balanced. This person thought about this for at least 3 hours.
Yeah, for sure.
It looks like they had multiple people working together, so that's cool.
Oh,
and
those are always really pretty.
2 hours,
right? So everyone who likes this, the link is in the description. Check out the Patreon for Dichotomy Games. They do great stuff.
Oh yeah, shout out to them. Oh, they have a Patreon as well. Nice.
Yeah, they got a Patreon.
Sick.
They also have a X videos link here too. I don't know what that is.
Damn,
that's crazy. They're really trying to get every market on.
Look, man, do what you gotta do in this market, bro. It's hard.
Capitalism is tough.
You know what? If you got to work the corner to sell your homebrew, I'm not going to judge.
I guess last but not least, I'll talk about mine. I got the Cape of 9 Lives.
Went to the wrong one. There we go.
So while wearing this cape, a mischievous cat spirit will ward you from death 9 times. Each time you take damage, that will drop you to 0. The cape instead drops you to 1. If you are targeted by an effect that would kill you instantaneously without dealing damage, the effect is negated. But unfortunately, there are a few curses and drawbacks to this, as we were just talking about. This is a wondrous item, legendary, requires attunement. So first we have the Catification Curse. Each time the cape saves your life, your appearance and behavior become more feline. Whiskers, cat ears, and urge to knock things over, stuff like that.
Urge to knock things over is crazy.
I love that. Just in your dungeons, you're going to have tons of things that can, if you knock it over, that's going to set up a trap. You can kill this player as many times as you need to, and it will be hilarious in a dungeon.
They become more and more cat-like, dude. A greater restoration or remove curse are the only way to reverse these changes. And then you have Feline Fate. The 9th time the cape saves your life, it flies off to the astral plane, and you are permanently transformed into an ordinary cat. Your game statistics are replaced by statistics of a cat, but you retain your alignment, personality, and mental ability scores. Your gear melts into your new form, and only a wish or a divine intervention can reverse this fate.
That's actually not bad. That's kind of busted when you think about it.
I kind of fuck with it.
That's really busted because the drawbacks aren't that crazy. Oh boy, I become a cat. I guess that's the bad thing. That's not even that bad.
I guess my sessions are over. I'm just a cat now. Now you're the party's familiar.
Yeah, that's not.
I
really
think it
that
goes
bad.
a little further than that because I like this because it incentivizes certain players to be reckless. Because
that's true.
This is going on the most reckless player or the most fragile player in the party, and when they're like, I got 9 lives. The fuck you mean? I'm just going to go right in there. And, as they get more and more reckless, that they get closer and closer to that permanently being a cat. And it said that it goes to the astral. So imagine you got a party going to the astral and it's just like an entire flock of these things just fluttering about.
Yeah.
It seems busted. In terms of balance, there's no balance with that, it seems. It seems like it tried to be balanced, but it relied too much on the concept more than balancing in that aspect, where it was what, guys? 9. 9's a lot. 9, that's a lot of times.
Yeah. I mean, especially if you have this on somebody who's not good defensively. Like they're getting one shot. Like, they need this.
Yeah.
Bruh.
If you make like a essentially like glass cannon-esque character, you're pretty much set. If you have this, you're pretty much set. Like that's really chaotic.
Then I love like if you have a character that's like you can make these increasing cat features, you know, be like detrimental.
That's what I'm saying. Like the urge to knock things over. Like you go into a shop,
Suddenly
everything
you
in the
wake up
shop
and you're
is
the size of a cat,
expensive.
bro. Like,
You know, like the urge is like, oh hey, this super expensive vase knocked over. You guys owe us. We were coming to you for a quest.
yeah.
That's
I mean,
too bad.
shit. What if you were like the 6 foot tall rogue of the party? Now suddenly you're a 3 foot tall humanoid with like cat whiskers.
Oh, like it, you get diminished in size as it goes on.
You're a goddamn Grimalkin from Monster Hunter. Like,
I feel like I would be. I still feel like it'd be a cool draw. Let's say you're like a warrior. You're like mainly a berserker warrior, and then like you get like shorter. Now you're just a dwarf at that point. I mean, if you're a 6 foot rogue, why are you 6 feet in a rogue? What's wrong with you?
Look, man, I don't know. This could be really fun just for like any.
I
like
be a
it.
cat.
I can see the role play going crazy for this too.
Oh, yeah, 100%. You can see a lot of furries latching onto this item.
Definitely, like I don't know if you could, homebrew this to be a different animal. Maybe
giraffe.
I absolutely say you could.
giraffe.
Like
Every time you see a toy, you would get another giraffe feature. It's called the We Are Us. It's just like
he's cooking.
After 10 toys, after you see 10 toys or 10 things, you shut down forever permanently.
I like it.
I think a dog one could work if you every time you encounter a male, because just man's best friend. You get more dog-like features, but you get like a +2 to your attack, and then until you eventually become like pharaohed, hounded out after meeting 20 men.
Right. Oh, God.
I don't know. That'd be kind of cool. I don't know. I was just spitballing.
I was thinking like if you go dog, you could go for like a loyalty mechanic.
Oh, you could do that. That's true. You want to roll out of a decision, but you can't because it's like +50 roll because of your dog-like features. So you can't do it.
Your urge to lay down your life for this very specific person, even when it's needless, like you didn't have to do that.
You do, and you must get your belly rubbed twice a day. It's like crazy.
Oh baby,
you can't have a short rest without belly rubs.
And if nobody can rub your belly, attempting to rub your own will make you more dog-like, thus losing your ability to take shit.
Look, man, as we finish up this episode, where can these people find you? What would you like to leave with them? Some wisdom, some words, whatever.
All right, here goes my eldritch wisdom. Don't believe that castles are built on stone. They're built on bamboo stilts at best. By that I mean it doesn't matter in any capacity how long it takes you to get to the next step. Just take the first one. Because I've been doing content since I was 12 years old. I'm 27 years old right now. Last month is when anything popped off for me. 15 years and then overnight success. Bunch of bullshit is what it was. But I will tell you, I am Ceros. I'm Ceros. If you ever want to find me, talk to me, any capacity. I don't work anymore, so I'm free all the time now. I was sleeping. I woke up an hour ago. I was sleeping all day.
Look, if we hear a Dungeon Talk
that's
Show,
the dream, man.
It's genuine original people. I mean, it seems, at least as far as I can tell, that this newfound fame hasn't changed you at all.
I'm just a lot more ignorant. That's only
be
it.
yourself more. Give you the freedom to really live your life the way you want to. We love to see it.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
I'm gonna get recircumcised.
How has
What's up?
all this stuff changed in your life?
Well, I quit my job because I'll give you some fun inside TikTok lore.
Ooh.
So my first video, the one you got, the D&D video, that got me $3,337.
Damn.
Ooh.
That's just off views. No advertisements, no anything like that. So that got me that. And I was like, that's not enough to quit my job. I didn't think it was. Then I had a second video blow up. And I was like, well, we'll see how much this makes. That made $2,000. Then I had a third video blow up. And I was like, well, let's see how much this made. And then I kept posting viral stuff over and over again. And I was like, oh shit. So I made a very lucrative decision to try live streaming 5 times. And I made $35 on 5 different live streams. Then I would quit my job. I made like $600.
Dude, master apprentice, teach me your ways, sir.
It's nonstop talking. I think people like, because you know how the NPC stream is going on, people give stuff and they don't shut the fuck up.
Right.
When I'm alone, just speaking in front of a camera, I don't shut the fuck up. And especially if I have like people constantly feed me messages, it's endless talking. You have an endless conversation with somebody. So it's nonsensical. It's beautiful, but the beautiful thing about the whole thing is it's making me enough money where I quit my job. I worked in Amazon. I quit my job.
Ooh, and congratulations!
I'm so happy.
Yeah,
I have enough money. Tomorrow I'll have enough money to pay off the rest of my lease here, move into my own spot, buy a dryer, and then go to this anime convention and still have $1,800 left. That's crazy.
My fucking boy, dude.
That's
dude.
crazy.
We love to see the success. Black
Absolutely, dude.
So just even if you feel like you can't, and even if you have to do something you hate doing, some people were mad at me when I do the AI stream, but the AI stream bought me $300. Some people you might be making some art and you might compare yourself to something. I'll tell you one important thing my brother told me. It's the only reason I even do anything. Comparison is the thief of joy. Don't allow yourself to be compared to anybody else. There may be only 50 people watching this podcast, but that's 50 people. That may be one person in each state. That means we've hit the world to me. And that's all that matters. We're hitting people. That's all I care about. That's it.
Somebody out there is laughing to us talking about nonsensical bullshit.
Usually our editor. It is a lot of fun. Like, we get people from all over the place. Like, how many European guests have we had on the show?
Gee whiz.
Yeah, like it surprises me. Like, we got one coming on next week. We have to do the show at like 4 p.m. because time zone difference.
Once again, we in deep Europe. That's crazy.
Oh yeah, like we had a couple of dudes from Montenegro, and then we had like this guy in Amsterdam, and then we got this other guy that wants to come on. I think he's from the England area.
The England area. He's from the Midlands.
Yeah. I don't know. They're weirdly specific there. It's like, oh, where are you from? Oh, from Wales.
Okay, which part of Wales? Worcestershire. Well, that's not a place. You made that up. That's not a real word.
Couldn't possibly be.
But yeah, that's pretty much all. I don't like to. This is gonna sound chaotic and crazy. I hate plugging my links anywhere. The reason being is because I'm so amazing. People will find me, and I know they will. I don't even care. I know people will find me. They'll find me. If you want to find me, you'll find me.
Exactly. Like, plugging the links and stuff, like, we encourage it for most of our guests just because, like, get your shit out there, dude. But at the same time, like, I hate plugging stuff. I'm like, people know. I like, if I go and look at stuff on YouTube and someone's like, hey, like, comment, subscribe, click the bell icon. Like, dude, fuck off. I don't talk to me like I'm 5. I know how this platform works. I've been watching YouTube for years.
Yeah, what I figured out about YouTube. I just became a partner on YouTube. I just got 2,000 subscribers. I just became a partner. I didn't know how deeply retention matters.
It does. It
retention
really does.
is more important than the views in some aspects. I'm like, what the hell?
Yeah, I looked into that recently.
Boost you up.
Yeah. And if you ever want to really look into stats on there, try vidIQ. Like, you can get it as an extension, and like, it lets you look at all the stats on like other people's videos and your own videos. And it's like, okay, you can see what keywords did well with this, what's being used, like retention rate and all that kind of shit. Like, and some stats that YouTube doesn't even show you.
It's nice.
But all right, I think with that about closes up everything we had to offer for this episode. Hope our listeners enjoyed. Hope you guys enjoy in the spooky Halloween month. Doing the spooky topics. Oh wait, we can't say spooky anymore. Sorry, the ookie topic.
I'm weak. Is that? Oh wait, we can't say spooky anymore. It's too racially motivated. That's crazy. Oh
If you
jeez.
guys enjoyed, check us out. You know where to find us. We're Dungeons and Talk Shows, the Nerd Militia, Bang Bang,
Boom, boom.
Orion, Sam. What's up?
Well, he's Orion now.
I'm Orion now. I'm the new Orion. I'm Orion's belt. I hold him up.
Mm.
I was
And we're good. Good job, guys.
no problem.
For an hour and a half.